Good day, everyone. This is Arjane May Anibiaza from the Group 1, and today we're going to explore an interesting and often misunderstood part of contemporary culture, which is fandoms and fan fictions. Well, our group will delve into how fan created literature influences original works and the legal and ethical considerations that come with fan fiction writing. And here is the contents of today's lecture. First is understanding fan created literature and its impact on original works, and then the legal and ethical considerations in fan fiction writing. We also include the future of fandoms and fan fiction, as well as the conclusion. And let us begin our lecture by defining what is fan fiction to be tackled by Miss Jasmine Humawan.
Good day everyone, I am Jasmine Humawan. In this video, I am going to discuss what is fan fiction. So fan fiction refers to stories created by fans based on existing works of fiction, often expanding on or reimagining elements of the original world. These works are typically published on online platforms and can involve various genres like romance, action, or even alternative timelines. So, fan fiction writers have a choice to remain the original work's characters, settings, and other intellectual properties as, as a basis for their own stories. Fan fiction has existed in some form since literature became popular, but the modern digital age has given it new life. Sites like Archive of Our Own, fanfiction.net, and Wattpad have become hubs for millions of writers who engage with their favorite stories in creative ways.
Now let's talk about its impact on original works. So first, expanding the universe. Fan fiction allows fans to explore aspects of the original work that may not have been addressed in the source material. So for example, a fan might delve into a secondary character's backstory or explore an alternative universe where events unfold differently. This expansion adds layers to the world, creating a more vibrant and immersive experience for both fans and creators. And then, cultural conversations. Through fan fiction, fans can also engage in deeper cultural or social discussions that may not be focused on the original work. So, for example, some fun stories tackle issues like identity, sexuality, and diversity in ways that the original narrative may not have fully addressed. This leads to broader conversations about representation and inclusivity with media. Next is feedback and inspiration for creators. So, in some cases, creators acknowledge that fan fiction has influenced their work. A well known example is the Sherlock series, where fan created theories and ideas have influenced certain plot points and character developments. Similarly to the Star Wars franchise has benefited from its expansive fan base, creating additional content that has inspired official material like the Star Wars expanded universe. And then fandom communities. Fandoms help foster knit communities where fans share their works, ideas, and interpretations. And these communities not only influence the content of fan fiction, but can also influence the original creators. A popular example is the Supernatural TV series, which saw strong fan engagement through fan fiction, fan art, and other creative endeavors.
Good day, students. I am Jonah Silod, and I will be discussing legal and ethical considerations in fan fiction writing. Let's talk first about copyright and intellectual property laws. It has two subtopics: copyright infringement and fair use doctrine. Let's talk first what is copyright infringement. So, copyright infringement occurs when someone uses, reproduces or distributes a copyrighted work without the permission from the owner or without a legal exception such as fair use. Since fan fiction often uses copyrighted material without permission, it can be technically seen as a form of infringement. However, most fan fiction is published without legal consequence, especially if it is non-commercial. Non-commercial refers to activities or creations that are not intended to generate profit. In the context of fan fiction or creative works, non-commercial use means the content is shared, published, or distributed without the creator earning money or charging others for access. So that's what non-commercial is. But there have been instances where major creators or companies have taken legal action against fan fiction writers, especially if it is perceived to be harming the brand or it is harming the intellectual property. Next, let's talk about the second subtopic, the fair use doctrine. The key legal defense that fan fiction writers rely on is the fair use doctrine. This allows for some level of use of copyrighted material for commentary, criticism, or transformative purposes. Many fan fiction works can be seen as transformative because they take the original work or material and offer new perspectives, plots, or alternative endings. However, the fairness of this use can depend on factors like the extent of the original work used and the market impact of fan-created material. Okay, let's move on to ethical considerations. It has 3 subtopics: the respect for original creators, consent and recognition, and lastly, the community norms and responsibility. Let's discuss first the respect for original creators. Ethically, fan fiction writers face the challenge of respecting the original creators while still expressing their own creative vision. While fan fiction can serve as a tribute to beloved characters or stories, some creators view the use of their intellectual property as intrusive or disrespectful. This is especially true when fan fiction ventures into areas that the original creators may find problematic, such as excessive violence, explicit content, or portrayals that contradict the established tone of the original work. Now let's go to the second subtopic, consent and recognition. Many creators appreciate the passion of their fans but may not be comfortable with their work being used for profit, especially if the fan fiction is explicit or contains material they don't agree with. The ethical question then arises: should fans seek explicit consent before writing and sharing their work? In some cases, particularly with fan-created works that gain commercial success, such as the 50 Shades of Grey phenomenon, which originated as Twilight fanfiction, creators may feel their intellectual property has been unfairly exploited. Now let's go to the last subtopic, the community norms and responsibility. Within fan fiction communities, there is often an unspoken code of conduct. Writers generally avoid creating works that infringe on the dignity or privacy of the original creators. Some fan fiction communities have guidelines that suggest avoiding overly explicit content, creating respectful interpretations of characters, and ensuring Content transformative remains transformative rather than derivative.
Let us also talk about the future of fandoms and fan fiction. So, with the rise of digital platforms and self publishing, the future of fandoms and fan fiction looks promising. Legal and ethical frameworks may evolve to provide clear guidelines for fan creators, especially as more major companies recognize the value of fan engagement, and many creators are increasingly supportive of fan fiction as a form of free expression and fun love, and some companies even promote fan fiction as a way to engage audiences. And as the influence of fandoms grows, the expression about, the conversation about intellectual property, creative freedom, and ethical writing will continue to develop, and fans will likely remain a vital part of the creative process, with fan fiction being an avenue for them to celebrate and deepen their connection to the stories and characters they love.
In conclusion, that fandoms and fan fiction have a profound influence on the original works they draw inspiration from, whether through expanding narratives, fostering cultural discussions, or providing feedback to creators. However, they also raise significant legal and ethical questions, especially regarding copyright laws, respect for creators, and the responsibility of fan writers. As the digital age continues to reshape how we create, share, and consume stories, fan fiction will undoubtedly remain a dynamic and influential part of contemporary culture.
That's all for today's lecture. We hope that you've got something, you've learned something from our topic, and thank you for watching.